Confidence isn't about speaking the loudest. It's about presence. The kind of presence that makes people stop and listen the moment you enter a room. The kind of confidence that doesn't ask for attention, but gets it anyway. Most men make the same mistake. They try too hard. They talk too much, overcompensate, seek approval, and chase validation. They think confidence is about proving something. They believe if they speak enough, if they act tough enough, if they demand respect, they'll be taken seriously. That's exactly why they aren't. Real confidence isn't about making noise. It's about control. It's silent, unshaken, and undeniable. A man who truly owns himself doesn't beg to be noticed. He doesn't need to prove anything, because he already knows who he is. Look at the most powerful men in any room. They don't rush. They don't force anything. They move with certainty. They don't need to speak often. But when they do, every word carries weight. They command respect, not because they ask for it, but because they carry themselves in a way that demands it. This is quiet confidence. And if you want to command authority without saying a word, you need to build it. Here's how. Confidence begins before you speak. It starts the moment you walk into a room, before a single word leaves your mouth. It's in your posture, your movement, your presence. The strongest men don't have to prove anything. They don't need to announce their worth. The way they carry themselves does it for them. Stand like you own the ground beneath you. Never slouch, never shrink. A man who commands respect moves with purpose, as if every step is deliberate. Walk with confidence, not hesitation. Don't rush, don't look unsure. A man in control moves like he knows exactly where he's going, even if no one else does. Keep your movement slow and controlled. Nervous men fidget. Weak men move erratically. The man who holds power doesn't waste energy. He is precise, intentional, effortless. People don't just listen to what you say. They read how you move, how you stand, how you react. If you look uncertain, they will treat you as if you are. If you hesitate, they will doubt you. If you carry yourself like you're in control, they will believe you are. You don't need to be the biggest or the strongest to own the room. You just need to carry yourself like you belong there. The loudest man in the room is never the most powerful. Power isn't in noise, it's in presence. A man who truly holds authority does not need to convince anyone of it. His words are measured, his tone steady, his silence more commanding than another man's shouting. Speak with intention, not for attention. Most men talk too much. They ramble, they explain. They try to fill the space with words, thinking that if they speak enough, they'll be taken seriously. But words without weight mean nothing. A man who is truly confident does not waste them. Say only what needs to be said. No more, no less. If something is worth speaking, say it with certainty. If it isn't, keep it to yourself. Every unnecessary word dilutes your presence. Let silence do the heavy lifting. When you pause before speaking, people lean in. When you hold your words, they anticipate them. The longer they wait, the more they value what you finally say. Most men are uncomfortable with silence. They rush to fill it, to explain, to justify, and in doing so, they give themselves away. A man who is truly confident, he lets people wait for his words. And when he finally speaks, they listen. The strongest men in the world don't waste time proving themselves with words. They prove themselves with presence. Weak men react. Strong men observe. Most men are easy to manipulate. Push them the right way, and they explode. Corner them, and they panic. Insult them, and they break character. Their emotions dictate their actions, and because of that, they are predictable, easy to control, and even easier to defeat. A man without control over his reactions is a man who can be played. If someone insults you, You don't flinch. Insults only have power if you let them. The man who reacts is the man who loses. If you stay calm, the power shifts to you. If someone challenges you, you stay steady. A weak man rushes to prove himself. A strong man lets his presence do the proving. If things don't go your way, you adjust, not complain. Complaints solve nothing. Complaints are for the powerless. A man in control adapts. He bends the situation to his advantage. Most people will never master this. They will always be ruled by their emotions. If they're insulted, they lash out. If they're doubted, they feel the need to explain themselves. If they're frustrated, they make reckless decisions. And because of that, they give away control to the ones who know how to manipulate them. But the man who doesn't react, that's the man who owns the room. The one who stays still while others lose their composure. The one who watches while others expose their weaknesses. The one who lets his silence speak louder than any words. The second someone knows they can get a reaction out of you, they own you. They will poke. They will push. They will test your limits. Not because they want to fight you, but because they want to see if you're in control. The moment they realize nothing shakes you, you own them. Confidence isn't just about how you walk, how you talk, or how you carry yourself. It's about what you refuse to give away. A man who can't be rattled, who doesn't fall into emotional traps, who makes every decision from a place of control. He is untouchable. So let them insult. Let them test you. Let them expect a reaction. And give them nothing. Because the man who holds his silence, the man who controls his emotions, that man is already in control of everything. A man who is afraid of losing can be controlled. Fear is the chain that keeps men weak. It makes them hesitate, makes them second-guess themselves, makes them follow instead of lead. The world does not move for the fearful. It moves for the ones who refuse to be controlled by fear. A man ruled by fear is a man who will never have power over his own life. Because if you fear something, someone else can use it against you. If you fear what people think, you will seek their approval. You will shape yourself to fit their expectations, constantly chasing validation, constantly bending to their judgment. A man who lives for approval is a man who will never be free. If you fear failure, you will hesitate. You will wait for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, the perfect opportunity, and in doing so, you will let others take what should have been yours. Hesitation is the death of ambition. A man who cannot act because he fears loss is a man who has already lost. If you fear standing alone, you will follow the crowd. And a man who follows the crowd is never in control. He moves where they move, thinks how they think, and lives by their rules, not his own. Confidence isn't built in comfort. It isn't found in safety. It's built in risk, in challenge, in standing firm when others break. Look at history. The men who shaped the world weren't the ones who played it safe. They weren't the ones who hesitated, who asked for permission, who feared standing alone. They were the ones who moved forward despite risk, despite doubt, despite fear. A man who is unshaken by fear is a man who cannot be controlled. The man who fears nothing moves without hesitation. He doesn't waste time second-guessing himself. He decides, he acts, he adapts. The man who fears nothing doesn't need approval. He doesn't beg to be liked, to be accepted. He lives by his own standards, and because of that, he earns true respect. The man who fears nothing is untouchable. No threat, no insult, no failure can break him, because he has already made peace with the risks. He knows whatever happens, he will handle it. The world will always test you. It will try to intimidate you, break you, make you doubt yourself. It will try to make you afraid. Because if you are afraid, you are easier to control. But a man with quiet confidence, he fears nothing, because he knows he can handle anything. He doesn't need guarantees. He doesn't need approval. He doesn't need certainty. He moves forward regardless. Fear is a tool used against weak men. Break free from it, and you break free from everything that ever held you back. Confidence isn't about proving yourself. It's about knowing exactly who you are and never needing permission to be that man. Weak men look for validation. They seek approval. They crave recognition. They need the world to confirm their worth. But the moment you need validation, you give others the power to define you. A truly confident man, he doesn't ask, he doesn't beg, he doesn't seek approval. He simply moves through life with an unshakable certainty. Move with purpose. Every step should be deliberate. Every action should serve a purpose. Drifting is for the lost. Move like a man who knows exactly where he is going. Speak with control. Your words are weapons. Use them wisely. Say little, mean everything. Speak only when necessary, and when you do, make it count. React with discipline. The strongest man is not the one who throws the first punch. It's the one who decides exactly when to strike. Control your emotions, and you control the situation. Fear nothing. Fear is a chain. Break it, and no one will ever have power over you. A man who fears nothing is a man who can't be stopped. The world respects the unshaken, the ones who walk with quiet strength, the ones who move in silence, yet command authority the moment they enter a room. They don't demand respect. They don't need to, because true confidence doesn't need to be loud. It only needs to be real.